Hey everybody, welcome to BCB Live's Freight and Review. I'm Rick Larkin, BCB's Chief Information Officer. Today we're going to do a little bit of math on how 1 + 1 can equal 2. And what I mean by that, we're going to look at our outbound tender volumes versus our outbound tender rejections and see, does that result in a cost reduction or today a cost increase? When we look at the volume today, we see freight near 15,064, a crazy amount of freight being shipped out of here right now across the country. And what we need to look at is what was happening the last couple of years. And I'm not talking about COVID down here in the very bottom. I'm talking every other year when the freight volume is around that 10,000 mark. That's just always been the number. What I want you to look at, though, is this. To take in consideration what happened in COVID. Here's our freight volume right up here. We see us today at 15,064. Look where we were a year ago. You know, just crazy to think that we were at 8,800 shipments and we hadn't bottomed out yet. So if you're trying to compare what freight was going on last year to this year, it's a different ballgame. And I want you to see this part right here. When we look at the rejections across America, so keep in mind, we have as much freight being shipped out as we've ever seen. And now when we look at rejections, we also see them at a near high. And for a long time, we've been sitting above 25% for a long time. A lot of freight is being rejected. That means record tender volumes are being rejected, which is going to tell you as a shipper is that your rates are going to go up. High volume, high rejections mean more spot market freight. And what I mean by that is this right here. When we look at the pricing today, with contracted freight versus spot market. And if you're out there, if you're a shipper and you're wondering where your money's going, I'm going to tell you where it's going. Today, when we look at the spot market freight, $3.18 a mile is what you're paying your outside carriers. $3.18 a mile is what you're paying. Look here, your contracted rate is $2.42 a mile. You're giving your carriers with the contract rates at $2.40 a mile. Meanwhile, the freight they're rejecting, and it is an all-time high, is being given out at $3.18 a mile. My word for you today as shippers, it's time to negotiate with your carriers. Get a better rate in place. You may have to pay higher than $2.42, but let me tell you something, it beats $3.18 a mile. Tomorrow we're going to be answering a question from one of our shippers that said, hey, what will pricing look like out of California? Look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Sir Rick reminding you to be safe all the time.